fun begins.
Hi, my name is Hunter.
And my name is Tech.
I'm Wrecker.
Crosshair.
And I'm Echo to you.
Hello there. Kyle Katarn here.
And the Bendu.
Coming back for another episode of the Dork Forces podcast, number 68. The penultimate episode, not because the podcast is ending or anything, but because this is the last podcast before the most loaded week of Star Wars that we've had in a while. All right, we're getting May the 4th, Star Wars Day itself, and all that entails. We've got the series finale of the Bad Batch coming up here. We've got the Tales of the Jedi days away, right? I am banking on. I'm assuming we're also going to get an Acolyte trailer. That's my suspicion on Star Wars Day as well. There's going to be so much to sink our teeth into, and on top of all of this, the Park Forces Meetup 2024 is going to be going on in Anaheim at Galaxy's Edge for 3 days, and it's going to be fantastic. And we are mere days away from that as well. So hello there, everybody. Gonk gonk to you, Jake. I'm so glad you all were able to make it. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, man. We've got a lot of hype is in the air, right? You can feel it. We've been building to the end of this of the Bad Batch for 47 episodes now, and I don't know about you, but it feels like it has not been 3 years of this show. I feel like the show just came out. You feel like that?
So I've been thinking about it for like the last weekend or so, and it's like the first time we got to see them was in final season of Clone Wars, and then from then it's like if we were to go back and rewatch their first introduction, it makes way more sense, and there's like a lot more of a contextual understanding of their family dynamic and their
they're such a family.
Overall companionship and just teamwork. So it's interesting how much we've been able to see for sure that they've been able to show us like within the last 3 years. I mean, there has been a lot of repetition between the seasons of like who's getting kidnapped this time.
There's some back and forth there.
Like there's what village are we saving this time? But like on top of all that though, we're still getting massive world building. We still got this amazing, found family story that the Bad Batch really was. And at the same time, like even with Crosshair, so there was a lot of back and forth that we always had on whether or not he was going to remain a villain. Was he going to get a redemption arc? What was really going to happen and come from that? And they really
he was such a fascinating development. Like his trajectory, Crosshair specifically, is one of the most interesting Star Wars characters that we've gotten in recent history. Just the way his arc develops, the way he kind of like sheds the mantle of like what you expect him to do for a character in that role in these kinds of stories. And he doesn't. He has his own unique trajectory. And I'm really scared he's going to die tonight. Like Crosshair is kind of at the top of my list for people who I don't think are going to make it out of this show. And I really hate that because I feel like he's one of the most well-developed characters we've gotten in a long time, especially in that came from Star Wars animation,
It's true. And the characters that the characters that he also introduced us to, like Mayday, for example, of whom we don't get to see any more of, but it's like the emotional and storytelling impact that those side characters had on him and then also us as the viewers just gives, I think, just way more weight to the story and just gives it a more knitted quilt, I suppose.
Well said. Well, I completely agree with that. Good.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you like, okay.
Good.
So last week. So I
have been working on a supercut montage of all of the establishing shots in the Bad Batch because I think they're gorgeous and they're my favorite part of the show. And through working on that, I have been rewatching episodes, and I just rewatched season 2 where he straight up murders Captain Wilco, right? Just drops his body off the end of it. No, I don't care if he's got some funny quips and he's got like some sass. Rampart's not okay in my book. He's got to go down.
Well, of course not. Of course not. And
I'm not here for any redemption for Rampart.
Yeah, no, I don't think we're supposed to, like, anyway.
Exactly.
But shit. What was I going to say? I don't know.
I'm so sorry I cut you off.
I don't know. So when it comes to people dying, I don't know if anyone is actually going to die tonight, like main family wise. Like it was also very surprising at all that we lost Tech to begin with. So
It's rare for them to go all the way with it.
Yeah.
Actually, like there's so many near death scrapes every goddamn episode. It's like, oh no, they're gonna die, and then they're fine. That when someone actually dies, yeah, it's a shock. But this is the end. Like this is the end. This
and it's like
I feel like
going back to what your initial thought was of with May the 4th coming and potential news or projections that will come.
Yes.
The idea of getting more Acolyte stuff would be very exciting. I think in regards to Tales of the Empire, we probably got as much as we're going to get until it actually comes out, which is literally Saturday. So, I mean,
actually, we got a new clip. It's very short. Came out on the 29th, so just yesterday. I haven't seen it yet. I was hoping that we could react to it later.
Oh, you're talking about the clip of
you already seen it?
It's of Grievous and one of the Night Sisters.
No, not that clip. It came out just yesterday, and it's like just like a smaller, like a little TV spot trailer of Tales of the Empire. It's got some new footage in it.
Oh, maybe. Okay, then yeah.
I did watch the Grievous clip, and that was badass.
Yeah, the Grievous fight.
Love me some Grievous.
The enchanted sickles. Like, bro, I'm so pumped for some Dathomir dark magic and to go back to Dathomir. Like, and it's also interesting to see that, like, because I'm trying to think of how I want to say it.
Yes, Hunters, which comes out on my birthday.
Right. It's interesting that the longer the witches stay on planet, the paler their skin gets, and it's more obvious when they get like first the tattoos are like made out of mud and they're very ceremonial, and then it's almost like when they go through the initiation, their tattoos become real. But
yeah, I mean, like we assume that the paleness is a racial thing, but what if it's
what's her name for Ahsoka and Mando?
Oh, Morgan Elsbeth. Who's also about to be all up in the Tales of the Empire. She's a focal character in this.
Yeah, so it'll be really interesting and cool to see like how her witch apprenticeship like really starts, and then how it gets interrupted, and then how her and Thrawn sort of like become these like, well, the Empire don't really like either of us, but we kind of want to be able to climb this ladder and get some power. So that way we can like kind of, I guess, fuck them in the end. But
it's like a lesser of two evils, like keep your enemies close kind of thing. Like absolutely, they never had any sort of like an ideological alignment with the Empire. It was just about power. It was just about means to an end. Completely.
Morgan. Yeah. So I should, especially after this weekend, I should 100% be able to remember the name Morgan Elsbeth.
So we're going to talk about some news and just some things that are happening before we dive into our Bad Batch hype sesh, which is really the reason all of us are here, right? It's the reason I got out of bed today, right? Bad Batch is ending tonight.
And your upcoming adventure with May the 4th and Star Wars After Dark. And
I can't wait, man. Star Wars After Dark, we're going to be there at Disneyland After Dark, Star Wars night on the 2nd. The following night on the 3rd, we're going to be at the Scum and Villainy Cantina. And then in Hollywood, yep. And then May 4th, Star Wars Day, going to be in Galaxy's Edge from open to close. They're not going to be able to get me out of there. They're going to have to drag me away with stormtroopers at the end of the day. It's going to be great. And we've got a pretty decently sized group already formed for this. So anyone else that's planning to go down to the park or like be in the area or Hollywood on the 3rd, join us, please. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, nice. That's a sacred moment. I'm building my first lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge. God, that was fun. Bendu, you did it
was
too.
Fun. It was, I'm not going to lie, I was a little at first disappointed because I didn't realize that the lightsaber parts kind of
they rotate them.
Rotated?
Yeah.
So I was initially like had already preemptively had the design in my head for like a really cool like Last Airbender style lightsaber hilt. And then when we got there, we saw that the hilts were quite different, but at the same time, I was then able to just quickly change the idea and the theme from an Airbender hilt to a Gandalf hilt. So it still was within personal theme.
That kind of exactly describes what happened to me too, because I had an idea in my head of exactly what I wanted. And I don't think the problem was that they had rotated the styles out, but the problem was that the style I wanted had been sold out and it wasn't available that day.
Yeah.
I also was not aware that you can't mix and match between the styles. you have to pick a style, and you can only use those components, which is too bad. I wish you could just have a big bucket full of all of them and just like make it. If you want to have like 8 pommels in a row, that's fine, you know. But it's not quite that. It's not quite that sophisticated yet. We don't have the technology. So yeah, we both have kind of like second choice sabers, and for that reason, I kind of feel like maybe while I'm in the park, I might build another one if they have something that calls to me that I like better than what I had to settle for. Because I've got my nice, it's a light cider saber. I really want one of like the power and control, one of their dark cider hilts, like the really blocky, angular, like brutalist looking hilts. That's what I want. I want one of those.
Because I thought you have two. I thought you had 2 hilts.
I've only got the one hilt. I got 2 crystals. I've got a purple crystal and a red
right.
crystal, so I can switch it out because I've only got the one. Yeah, but it'd be nice to get another one. You know, that's something that's super superfluous. How many lightsabers does a person really need? Another one. That's the answer.
I mean,
right?
it depends on the style, right? It depends on what body type is really calling to you.
Well, exactly. I want one traditional light cider hilt, and then I want like a really mean looking hilt as well. Depends on what mood I'm in.
Exactly.
What strikes my fancy at the time.
Exactly.
So this kind of crosses both worlds because it's Bad Batch news, but it's also just Star Wars news in general. Allegedly, the finale is going to be an hour long.
Okay.
This was reported by the Disney Plus Latin America Twitter account, which has a yellow check. It is a verified official. Like, it's not someone having a laugh, as best as I can tell. If that's true, I'm surprised I'm not seeing more buzz about the fact that we're getting an hour-long, like a banger of a finale for this. Everyone has been speculating something in the 20-something minute range because the entire season has been so far. But like, that first episode was like 50-something minutes, I'm pretty sure. So would be kind of nice and symmetrical to have a long, and like I've been saying, I've been struggling to wrap my head around how they're supposed to tie up all of these plots, how to resolve all of these things in less than an hour. Like, it can't be done. So I'm really hoping that that's accurate. I'd hate to, like, at this point, I'm gonna even though it came from an official Twitter source, I'm considering it a rumor because I haven't seen anyone else really running with this story. So take it with a grain of salt. But like, wouldn't that be cool if we got an hour of Bad Batch tonight, man? Oh, that would be.
I mean, there's a lot of questions left unanswered still. Like, we still don't know where Cody is.
Thank you.
Wolf is still doing his own thing now, needing to answer his own questions because now after
we haven't seen Cody in ages.
And now after touching bases with Rex, he now has to question everything about his current employer. So there's a lot that needs to like happen in the future. But right now, if we were to specifically just do Bad Batch, like, the guys still need to make their way to the Tantus lab and like.
Well, that's happened. They're in hyperspace. They're literally, and more than that, they're actually here because the turbo lasers are
fired. We know
the ship. They're on Tantus, making their way through the jungle right now. So like that's already happened. That's not the cavalry. The cavalry has arrived. Has got to be everyone else coming to back them up, including Cody. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
And then like the kids
so many variables here.
Yeah, like the nurse scientist Emery. Like, we still don't know if she's gonna just, you know.
I think she made her choice. I think when she said we need to save these kids, her and Echo together, I think, are going to do the right thing there. I feel like she wanted to do the right thing, but she was scared because she was alone. And now that Echo's there, she doesn't feel alone, and she feels like she has some protection, and she can step out from under like the shadow of all these scary things that could happen to her, and like finally make the choice she's always wanted to make. I choose to believe that. I could be wrong. It's hard to get a read on Carr, you know, because she keeps seeming like she's doing the right thing even when she's not. Like, she believes she's following her own system of morals, but I don't know if they're the right morals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to speculate on exactly what she's gonna do. I hope she doesn't die. I really hope not.
Like, if she sacrifices herself getting the kids out, like, I could see something like that potentially happen.
I mean, hey, if it's her or the kids, I'd rather it be her. You know, I'd rather she die than the kids die. The kids have got to survive. I'll be very upset if anything happens to the man. My big prediction is that Hemlock is going to get eaten by the Zillo Beast. and while Omega is writing it or like controlling it in some way, communing with it,
that would be
like straight up Beetlejuice.
That's best case scenario, right? That's like would be absolutely funny.
She said she has a plan, and she said that right after finding the Zillow Beast down there. I mean, what if that's the plan? She's going to go and like commune with it, and then they're going to bust out of here together, and like Hemlock's like, not so fast, and then like blah, just takes him out. Just like
it could very like. I could very easily believe Hemlock getting eaten by the Zillow Beast.
Yes, please. Dr. Hater, you mean? Yes. No, she needs to get eaten as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
She has it out. She has it out for Omega.
She has it out for all the clones. Or anything even clone related. She just wants the quickest way to a promotion that she can get to.
She's trying to work her way up the chain, and I feel like that's what a lot of the scientists are doing there, and that's how they're justifying these terrible things that they're doing.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's just a means to an end. It's just a way to advance my career. That's what matters,
Exactly.
In other news, we have the release date for the Star Wars Celebration Japan tickets is this coming week. It's on May 2nd. I'm gonna be on my way to Star Wars night when these tickets go live. So a 3-day pass is $168. I have no idea if I can afford to go to Japan.
In Japan.
Go to the con, like everything that is like, I don't know if I can swing that, but I know that I can swing a 3-day pass. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy tickets to Japan. I'm going to buy tickets to Celebration Japan, no matter what. And then if it turns out that like, it's just too expensive, I'll sell off the tickets, I think. But I'm definitely getting my tickets, and I'm definitely going to be in position to get to the next, because that's just the first of many hurdles, to actually go. I'm going to clear that first hurdle, and then we'll see what's up. That's kind of my game plan right now.
Shout out to you, best friend.
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to get there on sheer fucking willpower, dude. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I think I can eat the cost of a 3-day pass and survive. So I'm going to do it, and then just see what happens from there. Because if I'm honest, it's really far out of my budget too, but I have a year to plan for this, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. I really, really want to go. So yeah, same. Fingers crossed, send me good vibes in the Force, and I'll see if I can make it there.
It's true. It's true.
Because the thing is, I feel like I can't be indecisive about the tickets because they're going to sell out really fast as well. And I would rather regret buying them than regret passing up the opportunity to maybe go. Exactly. It's the flight that's really expensive. It's getting there and back that's really the kicker. I know enough people that are also intent on going that we could probably like pool our resources together and do something about like accommodations pretty easily. But it's just those plane tickets are expensive no matter what. No matter where you are, it's expensive to fly to Japan. I've noticed that too. It's really not a cheap destination no matter where you're coming from. But also in that vein, Star Wars Celebrations also announced the first round of guests that are going to be there. Anthony Daniels, to the surprise of no one. Anthony Daniels, I'm pretty sure, has gone to every single Star Wars event, right? He's at all of them. Ashley Eckstein will be there. Tamora Morrison will be there. And Doug Chiang is going to be there. And I think that might be who I'm most excited for. Doug Chiang would be awesome. I've got my Art of Episode 1 book. I'll get him to sign it if he's doing signings. Would be awesome. We've got a new clip from the Tales of the Empire. We were talking about that earlier. I don't think either of us have watched this one yet. Let me grab it.
No, the last one I saw was just Morgan Elsbeth and Grievous fighting initially. Or I'm not even sure if it was her or if maybe it was like one of her teachers or some but we definitely got to see the sickle Grievous fight on the ground.
Yeah, the Grievous clip was awesome. I did already watch that one. That's not this one. This one I think is like a new mini trailer TV spot. Dude, that Grievous model that they've got though, like holy shit. We got to see it for like the blink of an eye in Siege of Mandalore.
That's true.
But like this is really like they're gonna let it shine here. I'm excited for it.
Where is the Jedi hiding?
There is no Jedi. Prove yourselves worthy, and you may join us. Attack! Why do you seek Imperial favor?
Thrawn looks great.
Revenge.
There he is.
Available May
There he
4th
is.
on Disney Plus.
I mean, we knew that we were going to see Vader because we see him walking by when Barriss immediately like kneels.
Is that his throne from Kenobi? It's totally in the fortress, right? Look at that blue lighting. That's totally underwater window right there.
Do we get to see
in the Fortress Inquisitorius?
that? Yeah, I think that's definitely Fortress Inquisitorius. I don't think that's his throne room on like. I don't think it's the Mustafar one or anything like that.
No. You're right. You're right. I got my scenes mixed up because in that episode we go to Fortress Inquisitorius, but when we see him on the throne, you're right. That's at Mustafar. My B-wing. Vader looks great. I'm glad that we're getting to see more Vader in animation. You know,
he looks so clean.
That's a fun trailer. No, we've got everything in here.
There is no Jedi.
See, it's great because we didn't get to see a whole lot of that particular Inquisitor sister in Ahsoka.
Fourth sister.
So it'll be really cool to see her more, like get more of a shine in this one. And then the bird Inquisitor that we get to see immediately die in Tales of the Jedi, and then we get to see Merrick a little bit.
This goddamn gas bag right here.
He wasn't the gas bag. Merrick was the gas bag.
Well, Merrick was made of gas. This guy is a gas bag.
That's true. He just talked a lot.
And then immediately died.
That's fair.
And he went through all this grueling, rigorous training just to get like one-shotted by Ahsoka.
Absolutely.
It's got a really cool helmet too. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to learn anything about this guy. So maybe this will be our opportunity. You know?
Join us.
Inflatable Birdman. Yeah.
Totally. He's Darth Skeksis. That's what I call him.
Yes.
No, he 100% is. Marek is a shadow clone. Shadow clone of who?
Or you just, I mean, or like
maybe he's a clone of Galen Marek, and the cloning didn't take, and he just turned into fart gas, like slowly over time. Like he was a normal person when he put the armor on, but then by the time it comes off again, he's, you know, that's scientifically accurate, I think. Yeah, who could say? Who could say? I feel like we should all be pestering Dave Filoni with these kinds of questions. I'm sure he would appreciate that. It does kind of look like Khonshu from Moon Knight. We get to the mask again. I totally get a Khonshu vibe. It's the bird geekness of it, you know.
A follower of Khonshu.
Vader having a throne on Nur is so funny to me because his castle on Mustafar hadn't been built yet, so he's crashing with the Inquisitors for now. You're totally right. He's like, all right, I'm ordering everybody around, and I'm gonna be sleeping here tonight. So I'm gonna need one of the couches, please.
So everyone, shut the fuck up on.
Yeah, clear out of this wing. This is my room now. Poor Vader.
Clear out of the wing. Yeah.
Yeah, Tales of the Empire. It's gonna be awesome, man. Our reactions are probably going to be a couple days late because I'm going to have to travel back to Seattle before we can get going on this. But you can stay tuned on the YouTube channel. They'll be coming. The full links will be on Patreon as always. We also have a little clip here. The announcement of the release date for Star Wars Hunters, which is a game that has been slowly coming out for, God, it feels like 5 years now. Mm-hmm. It's an arena-based game. I believe it's a mobile.
Oh, yes. I saw this trailer this morning. It is quite fun looking.
It is fun looking. I haven't seen this one, but I saw the one before it.
Definitely see more light side bias. Or like maybe we didn't get to see, or there might be a secondary trailer that'll come later. This
is kind of a secondary one because there was one like over a year ago that introduced these characters for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, so this particular trailer shows the light side team and the light side members.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Okay.
So later on this weekend, they might give us a secondary episode which highlighting the dark side team.
Yes, please.
The only ones
Yes,
we really
please.
get to see is the Sith apprentice and the Ugnaught in the or the destroyer droid. I don't know if it's an Ugnaught inside the destroyer.
It is
droid.
an Ugnaught riding a droidica. I remember him. Yeah, I want to see this trailer. Let's take a look at the
Pretty good.
Hunter's trailer right here.
I love how
Hunters of the Outer Rim.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
love how
joining us.
sports
Coming
Yeah,
to
bro.
you from the arena on beautiful Vespara and only on ORSN.
Oh, look, it's all in aura batch. That's great.
It's
and
so
I'm
good.
Paz Vega. What a show we've got for you tonight.
Let's
But
go.
first, let's revisit the final moments of last
Hunter.
night's match.
We saw the Gundams versus Mudhorns in an epic game of control.
Dude, having
The more
a
events was really
Jedi
looking to
like
set the
practice
score down.
droid, like that's such a cool like random.
Yeah, force sensitive droid. I love the concept.
But is it a force sensitive droid or is it
He believes
just
in
a
it.
practice
He
droid?
believes it's
Reeve
force
really
sensitive.
thought she had Graz where she wanted him.
Boom.
Athena leapt to the rescue of her old friend.
The young
So it looks like this
citizens
particular mission is a King of the
The
Hill.
Mudhorns took the
Maybe
victory.
Yeah, I was
capture
thinking of
the
capture the
flag.
flag, maybe.
Yeah.
What a match that was.
Looks like the main event is starting.
Nice.
Live on
Dude, the
ORSN.
Jawas on the long coat is never not going to be a
Oh my
funny
God, that's
gag.
hilarious.
It's so good.
So many, yeah, download.
June 4th, which is my birthday. So, yet another
And
birthday
I
present
forget,
to me.
I
because
forget
also on
what,
June 4th, we're getting Outlaws.
I forget what, I almost said Spectrums, what like consoles and things that it's coming out on. Like if it'll be mobile gaming or if it'll just be computer or like PlayStation, Xbox sort of shit.
I'm really not sure. I don't really know much about the gameplay itself and what it's going to be like. All I know is that I'm not going to be able to play this because I don't have a Switch. But
Oh, it's
I have-
Switch only. Gotcha.
well, it's mobile and Switch, so I guess technically I could, but it's not. I don't know. I like that even though it's a fighter, it's so character driven and these cinematics are so watchable. I wish they would just like release a bunch of shorts like this. I'd be
That's true.
sufficiently entertained just watching those without even having to play the game. We're responding pretty much equally on all three platforms because I've got all the comments in one nice big list here. Total ESPN vibes. And I've been saying it for ages, man. Like, how cool would it be if we had a fake Star Wars sports network and we could just watch like 4K renders of like pod races, you know? Just get some
dude,
artists to come up with like a
duels?
bunch of like 40-minute long races on like different planets with different things. And we
Oh,
just don't
absolutely.
tell anyone how they end and then like air a whole season of sports and we could just eat it up, you know?
Absolutely. Or like in KOTOR, how there's the dueling matches in on Terrace. Like
Yeah,
there's so
fucking
many other
hutball,
things
man.
to see, dude. Swoop bike racing. Like there's so many different sports.
There's that variation on pod racing we saw in
BattleBots.
Bad Batch too, like the wrecker racing or whatever.
That's right. Or like the different kind of speedy pods that Tech was racing in.
But I'd love it. I would love to get all kinds of like random weird alien sports, and you could just have a whole like Star Wars sports network, you know?
Nerdy Zombie 83, I see you with Vader's robes being over the shoulders. That happens in a couple of different movies, like and a couple of different shows, depending on it's kind of the way you're able to tell what period of time Vader is in. Because some parts of his armor, the
A New Hope
panels
versus
are like
ESP.
all black, and then some of the in between panels are a little bit more on the silver, like grayish white side.
Are you referring to
But then some
the
of the-
Tales of the Empire trailer?
But then also some of the side robes, they go over his shoulder pauldrons, and then sometimes the side robes are under the shoulder pauldrons. But right there, it just looks like his main cape, which his main cape has gone over his shoulders.
It's his
multiple
main
times.
cape with like the very like samurai style underrobes, the sleeveless underrobes covering the chest guard. That's the big difference. Is that in A New Hope, he has those side robes going over the chest
Yep.
plate right here. But then in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, the
It's
chest plate
under.
then sits on top. I think it's always under the cape, but it goes cape, chest plate, and then like the side fabric
Yeah.
for 5 and 6. But in 4, side fabric is on top
Yep.
of the chest plate. And
Yeah.
that's the big that's like the major difference. For me, the criminal thing that they did is they took away the red lenses. From
Oh
the
yeah,
cape.
yeah. The red
that
lenses
they were
versus
red.
black lenses. Yeah, yeah.
And they weren't even like super red. They were just like tinted a little bit red and it made him so menacing. It was just like this extra layer of evil just from those lenses. And then in 5 and 6, he looks great, and you don't really need to make him more menacing because it's established at this point. We know Darth Vader. We're scared of Darth Vader. But like, if he'd had those red lenses the whole trilogy, man, like, oh.
I think in Return of the Jedi, they might have given him a little bit more LED lights on his belt and his chest plate as well.
There was a difference. There was a difference in how he's lit, and you can tell. I mean, like they did lightsabers differently in every single movie too. Like when Ben Kenobi's lightsaber in A New Hope is like a bunch of like reflective gems on a rotating rod, and like
yeah,
it's such a different technology, but little hints of red. Yes, they did bring it back a little bit, but the Empire Strikes Back helmet is just black. It's all black.
Yeah, and then when we get to see him again in the Kenobi series, that's when they really went back to the traditional sort of red lens. Or maybe it was Rogue One. It was Rogue One that they gave us the red lenses. I'm pretty sure they gave him red lenses in Kenobi.
They gave him red lenses in Kenobi, Rogue One, and Rebels, and it was fantastic.
I was gonna say, where's Todd? We need Todd real quick, but yeah.
Todd can school us about this. But absolutely, it's the red lenses that for me is like the benchmark for where in the timeline he's supposed to be. And then after that, I guess the placement of the capes and the chest plate would be like your next marker. It's like the stormtroopers. Like, you know, once you know what the details are, you can look at a picture of a stormtrooper and you'll know exactly what movie it's from.
That's true, actually.
They always look different, especially the helmets.
Which is kind of crazy.
It is. When a normal person sees you being like, but look at the color of the mouthpiece here, and it's got a different number of stripes there, they're like, that's insane. Like, you've watched this movie way too many times. And I will admit that. You have to watch Star Wars too many times to be able to get all of these details. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's a choice that I've made to spend my time this way.
Right.
Yeah, maybe the red lens suit gets destroyed by Starkiller, and that's why he had to wear a different one for 5 and 6.
I mean, okay, so between that and Kenobi, right? He took a lot of boulders to the face in that show.
Valid.
And then
Quite a few.
in his fight with Ahsoka on the Sith Temple in Rebels Season 1, he also gets his helmet fucked up. So maybe at some point, like, the red lenses just structurally lose their integrity, and then he goes to R&D and he's like, "Yo, I need stronger glass.
I need blacker ones.
I need stronger shit because my things keep breaking."
You know what? I actually like that theory a lot. It's like that's how he lost his lenses. Ahsoka smashed one of his red lenses, and then in Kenobi smashed the other one because his helmet gets sliced in half on both sides at different times, and maybe that's how he loses them. You know, and he's like, you know what? Fuck these red laces. I need black ones that won't break. I like that idea a lot, actually. That's my new headcanon.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when we get to see him in the egg echo chamber, and we get to see the helmet, the famous helmet, come down.
It's a good look. Man, I'm increasingly nervous the more I think about Bad Batch ending. If the rumors are true and we're getting an hour-long episode, that
it's going to be a good chunk.
Is pretty hopeful. We could get a lot in there, you know?
So here's the thing too, right? So maybe even with Bad Batch ending, it could just be this portion of the story, like of them as a collective whole. But that doesn't mean, like with fucking Ventress showing up and giving us the word of the week. These characters could show up in any other medium and could show up at any other point in time. Absolutely.
I'm not someone who thinks that ending a show means all the characters have to die. Yeah. No, I don't think that. I think you're absolutely right. Like, the story continues regardless, and we may even get an announcement of another show in the near future, maybe even on Star Wars Day, saying where the story will continue. Mm-hmm. And I would be surprised if it didn't involve Ventress and Barriss and maybe Omega in some way, you know?
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised actually now, like, thinking about Disney stuff with Bad Batch ending, depending on how continually popular it gets for people. Because they've already introduced so many of the Ahsoka characters in park for people to meet. It would be pretty amazing and pretty funny and cool if they were to have like random Bad Batch characters that you could take pictures with.
I would love
obviously, because they could still do helmets, right? So it's just
Get
the
some
same
massive
type.
dude to be Wrecker walking around.
Exactly. 100%. You get someone to be like Hunter and Tech. Echo would be the only real difficult clone that you would have to cast.
They used to have a Hemlock walking around, but people kept punching him.
Yeah, right. Because they had Chopper rolling around. They have a bunch of the little tiny droids that you'll have to try to see. Because I heard
yes,
that
I'm looking forward to scoping them out
too on May 4th.
When I say I'm nervous, I'm not nervous about them handling it poorly. I'm sure it's going to be a masterpiece of an episode. I'm just very attached to these characters, and so I'm nervous about what's going to happen to them in the show. And I don't think that it's neither here nor there about whether that's going to make for a good story. And at the end of the day, that's what's important. I just, Echo's been through a lot. He doesn't need to die, but I also have a really hard time seeing how he fits into a post-Bad Batch galaxy as well. Like, I feel like Crosshair's not going to make it. Echo might not make it. I think Omega is safe. I don't think there's any danger that Omega is going to die. But
no, not at all. Echo is
I care about her to the point that I don't want to see her in that situation to begin with. That alone is distressing.
Omega is the future. Yeah.
She's the future of the story, She's the future of the clone story, I think. The Bad Batch are the old guard, and they have been ushering her in because she's the generation that's going to exist in the galaxy after the era of the clones is done,
Yes.
The Alpha and the Omega, her and Boba, they're all that's left eventually. If you don't think about Kix, who's like in stasis somewhere.
Kix.
So I feel like for that reason, she's safe, There was a comment in here. Michelle put a cute video basically thanking the fans and how she's sad it's ending. Yeah, I saw something about that on Twitter. Let me see if I can grab this.
Hi guys, today's the day. It's the series finale of The Bad Batch and also the show finale. I have been kind of low-key dreading this moment for a while. I know a lot of people are feeling excited but also nervous. So I just wanted to say, yes. Don't worry. This is going to be an ending that I hope brings you some Star Wars tears, but also some closure. I love all of you guys. Thank you for all your messages, how much it means a lot to me how much you share about what you love about the show or what Omega means to you. I'm sorry I don't get to respond to them all. I'm really bad at social media. But grab your Star Wars tissues, get ready to cry some Star Wars tears.
Don't say that!
Thank you for being
why would you?
the Bad Batch Star Wars journey with me and with my beautiful creators of the series.
Hopefully we're crying because it's over, not crying because everybody's dying. But that paints a dire picture, man. Like, I get it. Sad the show's over, but like, don't be mourning. Don't be showing us your grief.
Yeah,
like,
what does that mean? What does that mean? You're gonna cry some Star Wars tears. Like, what the?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, like, bro, we've had Star Wars queers. We've had Star Wars queers, not enough. We've had Star Wars tears all the way on the spectrum of like Rogue One, atomic bomb on the beach. No one fucking survived that.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And then we have like, Kanan getting his eyesight back, protecting everyone from a fucking explosion.
Oh no, don't do this. I don't want to think about them all.
Bro, we have like Star Wars has such a spectrum.
Even here in Bad Batch, we've done it before, like Echo. Like that was. I guess we have to talk about Echo. We have to lay our theories out one last time before we go into this.
Star Wars queers, yeah.
I think that the Shadow Operative is Tech. It's going to be revealed that Tech survived.
He's fart glass.
And then Tech's immediately going to die.
He's fart gas.
It's Tech, and then Tech's going to die after revealing that he's really him. He's going to sacrifice himself. So it's going to be like he wasn't really dead, but now he's dead, kind of thing.
Oh, I saw someone in the chat way before asked me what my button is. It's funny enough that we were talking about Star Wars Celebration. So Patrick and I got one of these last celebration. It's of our Lord and Savior Kenobi Christ. And, this upcoming weekend being the coming of the Force, I felt that it was appropriate to bear faith.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a patriotic thing to do as a Star Wars fan.
Kenobi risen, exactly.
I am going down with the ship. Okay, I'm going down with the Tech theories.
You're going down with the
I'm crashing and burning at the bottom of that canyon tonight at midnight. Gonna be great. And you guys get to watch in real time as my theory shatters before my eyes, and I become very sad. But honestly, I'm not even going to notice that I was wrong because I'm going to be so caught up in everything crazy that's happening in the moment.
Bro, my brain just clicked to the hilarious like synchronicity of if Hemlock gets eaten by a Zillow beast, it would be on the same level of Hook getting eaten by the crocodile.
Yes. Yes.
Like it'd
like
be
TikTok.
So fucking,
motherfucking
like,
TikTok.
You have the one-handed like villain who gets eaten by a giant, monster, like, imprisoned monster that he laughs at periodically and experiments on. Like, yes. Devil Dog, have I been caught up on X-Men 97? No. The last episode I saw of X-Men 97 was Gambit's. Oh, well, you know what? Spoilers. I don't want to say anything of that nature. I think I'm on like the second to last episode.
As far as where I am, the last episode of X-Men that I saw was in 1997. So I'm not there yet. I haven't started, but I'm digging
it though. The animation is great.
I heard it's great.
I will say my only complaint is that anytime I hear Rogue's new voice, all I hear is Bobby Hill.
Wait, what?
Yeah, dude, like Rogue is supposed to be a Southern belle, and I swear to God, anytime she talks, I'm just like.
Well, to be fair, Bobby is a Southern belle as well, isn't he?
He is, but from Texas,
he's a regular debutante.
That's fair, but not from that part of the South. But yeah, Devil Dog. Yeah, no, go listen to her voice. She's great. Dang it, Bobby. Yeah, no, she's about to kick you in the crotch and tell you that she doesn't know you, and let's not let go of my purse. Yeah.
I don't know you. For anyone that is not really old like us, or perhaps just isn't familiar with Hook, I'm uploading the clip right now of
fucking Hook is so... It's for those of you who don't know.
I love this movie.
For those of you young enough, this would also be the introduction of Dante Bosco. So like if you've watched Avatar or know Prince Zuko, this would be like one of his coming into Hollywood sort of movies as well. Like fucking shout out to Rufio.
Fuck yeah, man.
Bangarang.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Good form, Peter. I am fallen. Give me my dignity. You took mine.
I just realized this scene is way too long, and I'm going to clip it down so we don't get
taken
taken off the air. Because I have learned from my past mistakes. So we'll watch the clip in just a second. Let me make it short.
Everything about that movie is like so. It's like I don't think Jim Henson had anything to do with that movie, but at the same time, like aesthetically within the sets, it's like that interesting transition between 1988 and like 1993, where it just had this really kind of Jim Henson-y, like Muppet puppet sort of look to it. But like, God, the costumes for Hook were phenomenal. The wig,
yes.
Dustin Hoffman's fucking mustache, and even his fucking eyebrow twirls.
I feel like everyone has like a movie when you're a little kid that you just sort of like latch onto and watch over and over again. And for me, it was Hook for quite a while.
It was Dragonheart for me. But Hook
Dragonheart I didn't know about until later, and it would have been Dragonheart for me because I love that movie too. But yeah, it was Hook.
It's ridiculous, so ridiculous. A little sad at the end. But it's the same with people who used to watch Homeward Bound or used to enjoy those fucking movies. I'm like, you're a sociopath.
Man, that's true. I did watch Watership Down when I was very young, and that fucked me up, and I'm still not quite over it, to be honest.
Yeah, and the fact that they made multiple sequels of Homeward Bound, I'm like, either A, these humans are horrible pet owners and they don't deserve animals, or B, whoever keeps making these movies of abandoned animals trying to find their way home to neglected owners is a very hurt and emotionally damaged individual.
No, it's cuts right through your armor. Like there's certain subject matter that just like gets to you, and that is definitely one of them. All right, here you go. This clip does not depict the conclusion of Hook. All right, this depicts what's going to happen with Hemlock and the Zillow Beast tonight. That is our prediction. Yes. Roll the clip.
Is Neverland! Whenever children read, it will say, "Thus perished Peter Pan."
Hook's gone. Hook's gone. Hook's gone.
That's exactly how it's going to go, man. Hemlock's gone. Yeah, the little kid, the little Itachi kid's going to say it and everything.
Yes. Okay. And anyone who also has never seen Hook, I will preemptively tell you, when you watch this movie, you have to remember that this takes place in Never Never Land, and you have
that
to,
clip was it's not even a spoiler.
almost,
That's how fucking crazy this movie is.
yeah. You almost have to go into it with Godzilla logic. Okay, like how did the dead petrified crocodile be able to, like, of which is also Lake Placid size? Like
when it starts moving, dude, freaks my shit out every time.
Like there's no the fact that this crocodile is almost bigger than a full-size sail ship. Or not, or so,
it's like a 4-story building when it's on his hind legs.
It's bigger than a clipper. Like, goddamn. And then how the petrified beast is able to swallow a full-grown man as it's falling, and just like the physics of that, just like, yeah, but you don't question it. You don't question it.
It's
rivalry.
It's the crocodile, and he like had it mounted there, but like he never killed it. I guess it was just like hibernating or whatever. You know,
it's the power of hatred, really. It's their You want
to talk about Darth Maul pulling himself back together and stuffing the hole with trash. This is the real hatred redemption story right here. Is the Croc, whose name is TikTok, by the way.
Wasn't even his real name. That was a name given to him.
They gave him that because of the clock.
Yeah, that he like threw in his face, and he like ate and swallowed, like, yeah, and then just didn't digest. Like, yeah, there's a whole mythos.
You're goddamn right. We are. Hook, one of the best movies out there. We're using it as an analogy for what we believe will happen between Hemlock and the Zillo Beast in this final episode of Bad Batch that we're on the eve of right now.
Homo Solari, are you sure the Croc isn't a kaiju? Only it's not a kaiju because just like size.
It could be like a baby kaiju.
Like, you know. I mean, Lake Placid, it's the same. It's almost a little bit bigger than the Lake Placid alligator.
Yes, it's in that category. Yeah, same family, same genus.
Kaiju. It's definitely monster movie size, but it's not quite kaiju level size.
We were talking about this earlier. Yeah, it was the Disney Plus Latin America Twitter account, 1 hour long. I have not, however, seen that corroborated by any other accounts or big publications. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt until someone else starts picking that story up. But yeah, I did see that news, and it's got me hopeful, but I don't want to get too hopeful, because what if I get like really excited about this and then we get up there and it's like
45 minutes.
45 even. 45 is a meal. Like, fuck it. I'll take 45. That's easy.
There's so many questions, right? There's so many questions and so little time. Yeah,
it's not enough time. It's not enough time unless they give us a full meal here. And I like Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rao.
I see
They're going to do it justice. They're going to give it the right amount of like runway that we need to really finish, like to really stick the landing. I don't know. Part of it's just me being greedy and just wanting more of this show, and kind of starting to panic, realizing that this is it. This is our last drop of Bad Batch, and I want more. So.
I can't ignore your comment, because just the mental image I get of Palpatine fighting a Zillo Beast with lightning just like has Mastodon playing in the background. Like, that's just such a heavy,
I'm into it.
Heavy music or heavy movie music video. Like,
was it Darth Vader issue 11? I want to say maybe issue number 10 of Dark Lords of the Sith, where he Vader and Palpatine basically have a kaiju battle. And Vader is on like a Suma Verminoth in space, and I don't remember what Palpatine brings up. It's not a Zillo, but it's like a Zillo adjacent, like one of those big ones, and they just duke it out. So it wouldn't even be the first time he's done that shit. So that wasn't even on my radar of things to expect. But like, oh my god, that would be amazing. That's how they concluded Darth Maul's arc in the Clone Wars. They just had Palpatine show up and like ruin everybody's
fucking murder his brother, and then like taser him and be like, you could have been nice, but you turned into a rival.
Like,
dude, the way he throws the word rival around too, like he was so bullshitting him the whole time. It's like Maul wanted nothing of power. Like Palpatine was just like, yeah, I'm impressed that you lived, but like you didn't come directly to me, and by that is a red flag, and so you fucked up. Oh, and you have a brother now? Oh, I'm killing him. Just
but like, what if he's sitting in his office and the red phone starts flashing, and they're like, "My lord, you have to go down to Tantus. Like your Project Necromancer is in danger right now." And he like, "Bring my shuttle," and it just gets crazy sauce from there. And he's the reason the Zillo Beast gets taken out. Like, exactly, you've become a rival. One of the best line deliveries, man.
Right,
Would be awesome. Would be awesome.
And then the fact that he was just cackling the entire fucking saber duel.
Yeah,
like,
he was loving it. It was the most fun he'd had in years.
Yeah. He was just doing it just because. Yeah. Oh god, it was so good. Savage didn't deserve it. He just wanted to help his brother. I know, right? He was the true victim. He was the true victim there. And then he gets his arm sliced off, and he's just like, "Brother, I'm not as strong as you."
Yeah, I felt bad for Savage in the end. He was kind of a monster, but he, I have empathy for him for sure. Knowing what we know about necromancy, there's a good reason Palpatine would feel invested enough to come and personally make sure that this doesn't destroy everything he's worked for. I could see him showing up. I really could. And him and the Zillo Beast have beef already. Because you remember in the Clone Wars, the Zillo Beast like saw his true nature, like fully like perceived him for who he really is, and was like, "This guy's a Sith Lord." But no one spoke.
Previous Zillo Beast, though.
Yeah, but that shows that the Zillo Beast has that a level of perception and intelligence to like see through his bullshit. So like, if he sees the Zillo Beast isn't going to be like, "Oh look, there's a little old man over there." He's going to be like, "Oh, that's a Dark Lord of the Sith, and I'm going to take him out.
I'm going to eat him."
Like that could get crazy. That scene could get crazy. I would be down. Maul did not hold his own against Palpatine. Palpatine was playing with his food the whole time. He did not. His pulse never got above 85. That whole fight.
No, not even. No.
He was chilling. He was chilling.
He was literally smiling and laughing the whole fucking time.
Yeah, he was giggling, man.
He wasn't even throwing lightning until like the later half of the fight, like the later third. Even it wasn't even the fight. It was after he kicked both of them out of the glass window, and they fell like maybe almost 2 stories down, and then just this old man
and then he just like glides down,
fucking jumps, just fucking Assassin's Creed swan dives out of this thing. Back, like front flips, lands, sabers out, and it's just like
no, like doesn't matter how badass you are. No one is prepared for Palpatine to like do a 360 and like do some crazy flips and stuff. Like no one is prepared to see that, and it throws them off guard every single time. Doesn't matter how badass you are.
Yeah, even the creepy old man that we got to see in Star Wars Visions, it's like he was kind of cool.
Oh, that was fun. That was good.
Yeah, like his concept and his character arc was cool just because he very much played on the concept of like, oh, I'm going to play on the frailty and then like try to do really slow sabers and then just quick parry.
Take advantage of your enemy's assumptions that you're going to be slow and frail and then just lightning speed. Yep.
Yeah. But like with Palps, it was just like a clear, I'm like, it's like, I don't know. It's one
because he fights with Jem So, which is still like the poor man style, And like it's very like supposed to be appearances are deceiving. Like it's the whole thing. You mask your own power so that your enemy's overconfident and then you just decimate them.
Yeah, it's like that's
at this point the Emperor already retreated from the public. I will point out that Mount Tantus is like the furthest thing from public that you can. It's basically like a black site, like it's not on the maps, it's not on the books, there's no record. It's like a super duper top secret. So I feel like Palpatine could come here and it wouldn't necessarily be considered like a public outing because the scientists here don't exist. You know what I mean? Like it's all such secrecy.
That's true.
My favorite take on Palpatine is that he's cackling throughout episode 3 because he's having his best day ever. He's coming out. It's his coming out party and he's going to dance. 100%. He's like, I get to show people that I'm a Sith and use my lightsabers and use the Force and not worry about it for a couple minutes. I mean, yeah, if you think about it from Palpatine's perspective, he has to be so repressed and like
all the time
living a second life every minute of every day of every waking hour. He has to be something. He has to pretend to be something that he's not. And even when you're evil, even when your soul is as black as coal, that's got to weigh on you a little bit, right? Like I'm sure that was a burden that he experienced even a little bit. Who knows? Who knows how much of a nihilist Palpatine really was, and if like earthly things even got to him at all,
I think that was his kink too. at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like when you're able to
There's
hide
that too.
that level of like sociopath, you could be standing looking Mace Windu dead ass in the eye and be like,
It's like a
"Oh,
knowledge
hi."
fetish. He's like
Yeah.
getting off on the fact that he doesn't know that it's like, yeah,
Exactly.
that's absolutely that's like it's like the serial killer who like inserts himself into the investigation,
Yeah.
He's got to like be part. He's like totally getting off on like the clues from the. Yeah, that's Palpatine. That's totally how he does it. And you're absolutely right, Ethan. That was the most fun
Because like we
he's
got
ever
to
had,
see
and
it,
for that reason.
because we got to kind of see the opposite with Skarsgård's character in
Luthen.
Andor.
Yeah, Luthen.
Because like he definitely had to keep up the public face of like, oh, I'm just the eccentric antiques dealer. But at the same time, he's like, no, I'm fucking Rogue Squadron. Like I'm blowing up these people's fucking trucks and bases and stealing their fucking.
I feel like
credit.
the only real difference there is that Luthen didn't get off on it. You
No,
could tell
not at
that
all.
it was exhausting for him. It was a
Yeah.
burden for him. This awful suffering thing he had to put himself through, like talking to these rich fucks and wearing a wig and pretending to laugh at their jokes, and like it was agony. Versus Palpatine, who's like, I'm gonna be so fucking evil and no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
Like he's grinning from ear to ear, but on the inside, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I'm gonna get these fools a circle jerk and they won't even know. Like it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, and the best part is he's right. He's got their number. He's like as a dead ringer. He knows exactly what the Jedi are going to overlook, and he knows how much hubris they have, and just how clouded they are because he's the one clouding them. I mean, he had every reason in the world to be a smug son of a bitch.
Like I know everyone gives episode 1 a lot of shit, of which I guess this will kind of be like my closing thought for the evening, since we're almost hitting that 1 hour mark. But because episode 1, Phantom Menace, does come out for its 25th year anniversary, which also blows my mind. It's been 25 years. But at the same time, we're not that old, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
I mean, I remember what I was doing the day it came out, so that makes me feel like I'm getting pretty old.
I will fucking say
that was 25 years ago.
If I do find a movie theater that does have it in 3D, I will fucking go 100%, because 3D pod race and 3D Duel of the Fates are like the coolest fucking things to see. If I don't find it in 3D, I'm probably very happy just like watching watching just the anthology of the movies at my own home in my own comfortability. What was I going to say? Oh,
if you can see it in the theater, I feel like the value there is just that it's the big screen and it's a memory, because we all saw it on that big screen, and it's the only way to get that theater experience again. Because honestly, more comfortable for me too to watch it.
His political genius, his absolute fucking political genius of like, oh, I'm from Naboo. Who can I easily manipulate to fucking close off trade routes? The fucking Trade Federation. Who can I convince to be like, you know who doesn't pay you enough money? Those rich aristocrats on the Naboo. And then like, you know what? I'm gonna go in and play a sympathy vote. I'm gonna start a fucking invasion insurrection on my own planet so that I can get a sympathy vote, so I can get a level up and a power up. Like fucking
it's so conniving that you have to respect it. That's the thing. It's so goddamn conniving that I'm not even mad. That's impressive. You know?
Yeah. The entire planetary governmental system. He's like, yo, I'm gonna start with one planet. I'm gonna have the Trade Federation fuck with just one planet, and then I'm gonna watch it cascade and domino into all these other systems until the Separatists become their own fucking thing. Because like with Starkiller and Force Unleashed, that was kind of the whole building of the initial Republic and Rebellion, was that Vader was like, look, I want you to find all the people who hate the Empire, put them all together so we can just nuke them all at once.
Right.
Like, and then that's kind of like Palpatine. Like, yo, I'm gonna start this little small game, make this bigger issue of like the Republic threat or like the Separatist threat, and then bureaucracy. I'm gonna make bureaucracy the enemy here, and then just being able to orchestrate the rest of it was just
cast the light on the existing flaws in the system, use them to take away public confidence, and then rise above it claiming you're the solution. You're the one that's going to fix it. And then instead make it way worse.
Yeah, my most curious and like biggest question with Sheev Palpatine within his own timeline is like, when and how did him and Plagueis meet up? Or like when and how between him doing Senate shit having enough time to like get down, have a kid, have a granddaughter, of which
read
already doing the
Plagueis
political
because it is
after
covered.
already doing the Plagueis stuff, Plagueis dying, like was all of the Darth Plagueis stuff within his teenage years to 20s, and then like he goes to law school, then becomes a Senate.
Yes, his
Like-
formative years. It's all so James Luceno wrote the Plagueis novel. It does map most of that out. It does answer your question. Long story short, most of it was his early life, like teens to 20s, but earlier than that, even like there was something there. Like Plagueis, in a way, it reminds me of like Snoke apparently communicating with Kylo since he was like a small child, just like telepathically. I think that's what we're supposed to believe happened there, and that kind of has a parallel with Plagueis and Palpatine in a way. But I really want them to explore that story more, and I think that one of the reasons Palpatine as a character works so well is because there's so much mystery surrounding his origins. We don't have all those answers, and I don't know. I kind of feel the same way that I did before we knew what Boba Fett's helmet, like what he looked like under the helmet. You know, so we lose something when when the curtain gets pulled back and the mystery's gone. But like the thing we're gaining just has to be cooler than the mystery was. So like they better come up with a badass explanation for those origins if we're going to actually explore them. Otherwise, leave it a mystery. I always think there's nothing wrong with leaving it a mystery.
I mean, he already told us
Hollywood, California, 78 Man's Chinese Theater. That's been old. Well, you are older than we are, but
yeah, no, we're talking about
older than we are. Because hot damn, man, I wish I was there. That's some street cred. This man has some serious street cred. I wish I could say that I was there at the original run.
I mean, Empire Strikes Back was pretty momentous within itself. I could only imagine kind of what Return of the Jedi must have been like. I think that was that could have been more of the cultural revolution, or like that generational Infinity War or Avengers Endgame, as it were.
I'm sure it was huge, especially with like the massive success and momentum of Empire Strikes Back being even better than A New Hope. Like going into Return of the Jedi must have had expectations at like an all-time high. Mm-hmm. And like regardless of the actual theater experience, I bet the experience waiting in line for Jedi to drop was peak. I bet it was insane. I bet that was like the most excited Star Wars fans have ever been.
It's true.
Yeah, no. Absolutely awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to play us out with a clip here. It's a work in progress. I'm currently making a compilation of all of the beautiful establishing shots in the Bad Batch, and it's only like 2 minutes long at this point.
Go to your bed.
That's going to be the last thing that we leave you with here, and I will post it in its entirety when it is completed. It's going to be my tribute to the Bad Batch, because the thing I love about that show more than anything are the gorgeous vistas and establishing shots. I just think the animation really shines there the most. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been Dork Forces number 68, our pre-Bad Batch series finale hype session. Can't wait. We'll be seeing you guys in a couple hours with our full-length reaction hitting Patreon. And happy Bad Batch Eve to everybody for the last time. This is our last Bad Batch Eve, and we've had a really good time sharing our reactions with all of you and reading all of your comments. And please keep them coming. Post your theories. Let us know what you're thinking is going to happen. Like, this is it. This is our window for speculation. We've got like a couple more hours left, and then the answers will be here. And questions are a burden, but answers are a prison to oneself.
But yeah, leave us
I'm sure he was talking about the Bad Batch.
Leave us questions and comments on what your favorite parts of the Bad Batch have been, even all the way from when we first got to see them in Rebels, all the way until now. For those of you who will get to hang out with Katarn at Star Wars Nights in Galaxy's Edge, post all the pictures, do all the tags. I want to see all of it.
We're going to be going live. We'll be going live from the park. I want
to see everything,
probably on Star Wars Day. So it'll be a live.
And then let's see. But you come home Monday,
the 5th.
Monday the 5th.
Flying out of Revenge of the 5th.
Theoretically,
because I'm missing Galactic Empire by 24 hours again. I missed it by 24 hours like 2 years ago as well. The band, they're going to be playing in Anaheim.
Oh, the band!
So it's like,
that's cool. That's
one of these days. Galactic Empire, if you're watching the pod, because I know you guys are, we'll hook up one of these days. We'll finally link up. It's going to be great.
Yes.
But I'm missing you again by this much. We're on the verge of.
But what I was going to say is, hopefully maybe by Wednesday we
Yes.
can do Tales of the Empire. Hopefully by Wednesday night, maybe.
Oh yeah, at our
Movie
earliest
episode
opportunity, we will be doing Tales of the Empire. It's a hot ticket item, and as soon as
Will it
I'm
be
back in town,
6?
we'll be reacting.
Do we know if it'll be 6 episodes like Tales of the Jedi?
6 shorts. Yes, 6 shorts.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Like we said, may the force be with you. Enjoy the first 2 minutes of my Bad Batch wide shot compilation, and have a great night.